Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
Oh, thank you, darling. Kate, you're not wearing a bustle. How lewd.
Something strange happened to me this morning.
Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you?
No.
Why am I the only person that has that dream?
Johnny, I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, I got it, Jim.
Come on, let's get some tacos.
Yipee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon.
It is with a heavy heart that we come upon this subject today, because yet another of the famous faces we grew up with is gone. Val Kilmer passed away not too long before we recorded this, and the nation mourned. It sucked. He's young. He was 65, right? That's pretty young these days. But he's undoubtedly one of the movie stars faced fucking everywhere in the 90s when we were growing up. Like, he was one of the movie stars in the 90s. And people might have forgotten a little bit because he didn't cling to it like a lot of movie stars did. Like Tom Cruise and so many others just kept hammering at it until they couldn't anymore. He kind of faded away.
He really got off the beaten path.
Yeah. Yeah, but back then, man, when we were growing up, from Top Gun on, he was everywhere. He was everywhere. So in honor of that, we're going to take a look back at his career, which started pretty much when we started.
Yeah, pretty much.
1984 was his first major role in a movie, and yeah, we're going to go from there.
I can't believe this is his first movie.
Yeah, before we get into that, what do you think of when you hear his name? Like, what do you think of? What movie? Like,
what do I think of?
Yeah, what's the first thing that springs to mind? Not even movie, like, you know what? Val Kilmer. Oh, what? He was Batman. Like, he was, for some people, he was Batman. A lot of stuff. You know?
Yeah, he was Batman. I get the first couple of there's a couple things that spring to mind. There's like the thing that I know that he's most known for, and like maybe like his best role, and it's a thing that like I grew up with. Like, I know people know him as Doc Holliday, you know, just like one of the most quotable friggin' role of all time. And there's that for a lot of people. For me, he's Madmartigan from Willow.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, a big piece of our childhood, for sure.
I loved that movie when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh, I was obsessed with it.
Yeah, that was one of the brief era of sword and sandal fantasy stories that hit Hollywood there when Conan came out and all that. Yeah, Willow was cool. I can't help it. I think Top Gun first. I always do. Just because I think that was my first exposure to him. And then two movies in rapid succession go through my head. The Doors.
I'm going to guess oh, okay.
The Doors.
The Doors, I was going to guess. I think I know the other one.
There are a few movies I've watched as many times as that movie. We'll get to that in a minute, but The Doors, and then the next one is a weird one, maybe, is the Ghost in the Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, I like it way more than I should probably. But I love that movie. I truly do. But there's so many things. We're going to go through his whole career here. I just wanted to see if there were, and that's interesting that you said Willow. That's really neat. I watched it a few times as a kid. You know, I was seeing it. It was on TV a lot. I didn't had any particular fondness for it, but he was definitely the cool dude in that one, man. I used to get
was
that
an
confused with
absolute
Legend.
staple.
You know, that which is funny because Tom Cruise was in that one.
It was right around the same time. Yeah.
I used to get those two confused in my head because they always used to play them on TBS, and I'd watch them in like my uncle's bedroom on Sundays because they were always watching football, and I was little and I didn't care, so I'd just go watch fucking Willow or whatever the fuck was on. I was a lonely child.
That's a
I was a lonely child, a solitary child. I was a psycho. I should have been a serial killer. I could have been if I tried hard enough.
We should have met sooner.
Yeah. Maybe you could have taught me an instrument when I still had a malleable brain. That would have been neat. All right. First one. You know this one a little better than me, I think.
Really?
Maybe.
1984.
Yeah. Going back. Top Secret with an exclamation point.
My favorite spoof movie. My favorite one.
It's an excellent spoof movie. It's like along the lines of Airplane, Naked Gun type of spoof movie.
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots. Yeah, exactly. Which is odd because usually those types of movies have a bankable star in them, spoofing some kind of genre. But this was trying to be more like Scary Movie, in that it had, an up-and-comer handsome guy starring as kind of an American James Bond kind of character.
Well,
sort of,
he
right?
was
I don't remember.
He played more like an Elvis character. He was like a well-known singer that was like approached by
The CIA,
the CIA
To be a spy? Okay.
to do this mission. Yeah, he was like an Elvis character.
I
He
couldn't
was,
remember
like,
which
women
came first.
falling all over him.
I couldn't remember if he was a spy who could sing or if it was the other way around.
He was a singer who could spy.
Oh, fucking A. All right. I remember the train car scene. I love the scene where he's crawling through the field and he runs into the pair of boots and then it pans up and it's just a fucking empty pair of boots in the field. I love that shit. Now, he was great. Having been exposed to like the action shit that he did, I did not know he could be that funny for a long time.
He was hilarious.
He was very funny. He was great. And that was a weird thing for him to... However, this next one, I watched an awful lot, and it's also a comedy. It's one of those ones you discover on cable, and then all of a sudden it's on like every other week. Real Genius, 1985.
Yep. That's
You know
how I
this
saw
one?
it.
Yeah. Chris Knight.
I
he played.
saw.
It was so
I
weird.
saw the end scene when they use they make that they fill
the
that house with
popcorn.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I was
laser.
like, what the hell's this?
Laser popcorn.
And then it was like on a couple nights later.
And it's the douchebag from the Ghostbusters. The redhead, Peck. Walter Peck.
My name is Peck.
This man has no dick. It's him with no beard. Sans the beard. When he always looks like a creep without the beard. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a great movie.
He needs the beard. And that is a great movie. It's like a weird story. Like there's like this ranking, this national ranking of like smartest people.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
They always like talk about who occupies what number on the list. And then like Val Kilmer is like way up there.
Yeah, like these are the kind of people who get recruited right out of MIT to go work for the CIA, to go to work for think tanks.
Tank.
Yeah, go work for like places they can't reveal where they actually work and shit, And it's them in college. And it's a comedy with like a weird action-y element toward the end, which a lot of comedies did at the time. It has a good story. It's good enough story. There's goofy shit. There's some fun side plots. He hams it up through the whole thing. The kid who plays the lead, the straight actor, whatever you want to call the character, he's not very good. He didn't do much else after this. He's not very good. But you know who else is in it?
Who's that?
He plays Laszlo. I remember that's his name in Real Genius. Hold on, I'm going to get... John Grace.
Plays Laszlo?
He's the Wolfman from Monster Squad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
and
guy.
he's been in he's in White Lotus now, so a lot of people know him from that. But yeah, he was the dude who lived in the closet.
That's right.
Hollyfeld. It was what a weird movie though. It was a super weird movie. There's a government contract for a death laser. There's a dude living in a subterranean tunnel underneath the college that he accesses through a dorm closet, and he's filling out sweepstakes with an automated machine, and Val Kilmer's there with slippers and dry ice.
Yep.
There's a lot of dry ice.
It's a very strange movie. It was fun though.
It is fun. And it's very 80s, extremely 80s. And the
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack, what a weird, it's a good soundtrack, but you have never heard any of the songs in this soundtrack anywhere else somehow. I don't
remember the soundtrack.
Like every song in it is catchy, and if you see the movie enough times, they always stick in my head, but I don't know them from anywhere else. It's like Monster Squad. Same kind of deal.
Rock until you drop. Bam.
Dancing
They're
till your feet fall off.
Just catchy enough.
Just enough. And then that was it. That was the end of his piddling small-time comedies, because in 1986 he was Iceman in Top
The
Gun.
Iceman cometh.
In Top Gun. And then I think he was typecast a little bit, maybe, as the hero. So, I mean, what else was he going to do, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
got to
but,
admit,
like,
he was a handsome dude
let's
with
be
hair.
honest.
That hair, dude, bro.
And he was great in Top Gun.
Oh, he's
He
perfect as Iceman. Perfect.
He played such a prick.
But he wasn't.
He was perfect for that role.
You didn't completely loathe him, though.
Because he was competent. Like, you knew he could back up whatever,
Yeah.
whatever he was saying.
It seemed really natural, too. Like, it didn't seem like he was putting on a show. It just seemed like, no, that's really this dude's personality, for sure. Like Glenn Powell in the sequel, it felt like he was playing a stereotype, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Iceman, there was just something about the choices he made in that made Iceman seem a little different than that stereotype. And there's some weird choices, too. The teeth chomp thing. That's weird. That's a weird thing to do. But fuck, man, I'll tell you, even before meme culture started, I remembered that weird shot. Always. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do to someone's face.
Hey,
I like it.
I have a weird question.
Oh, I love weird. Go ahead. What do you got?
If you were a Top Gun pilot, what would your call sign be?
Ooh. Interesting. Bronco Hambone.
Too many syllables, you creep.
I don't think so. How many syllables? What's the limit?
I think
Two?
you just can't. I think you just can't have one. I think it has to be more than one syllable.
Wizard, Merlin, Maverick, Goose.
Hollywood.
Goose is one. Mother Goose.
Oh, yeah.
His
Goose
full name
one.
is Mother Goose, though.
Yeah.
They just call him Goose, which makes me very question the whole system of call signs, to be frank. I don't know.
Jester.
Yeah, Jester the Molester, cock and stuff. I don't know, man. I mean, the
Maverick.
best rooster's taken, so
Hollywood. Viper.
Wizard.
It's a great question.
It's a great question, Tom. I'm going to think about
Yeah.
it. I'm going to think
Yeah.
about it.
Report back.
Yeah, honey bunches of oats, maybe. Too many syllables. I'm going to think about it. Let's circle back at the end here. Let's not forget.
Yeah, we'll come back around.
Yeah. So that was 86. He looks like he did a couple, like a TV movie or two in the next couple of years, because I guess he didn't know he was going to Top Gun was going to be so big, which often happens. And then 88 Willow. Who directed that? Do you know?
I
Before
think
look
that
it
was
up here.
Ron Howard.
You're right. Ron Howard. Written by George Toyboy Lucas.
Yeah, it was.
In part.
It's Star Wars. It's basically Star Wars.
You know what's interesting? He's in this with Joanne Whalley. And I believe...
They got married.
Yeah, I believe they got married. Is she the sister of the male Wally actor who played Robbie Krieger in the Doors movie?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe I don't really understand. I don't understand how Hollywood works. Everyone seems to be related.
I don't understand.
I just don't understand. What about Willow? Was it just the whole fantasy element and shit? Because it was a pretty cool fantasy story.
Yeah,
George Lucas is good at that, I guess.
Yeah, it's he writes a good arc. It was like a fantastical story. That movie looks amazing. The production on it is incredible. It's got some good actors. I'm sorry, Warwick Davis. You know, he's fine. He does well. Val Kilmer's fucking awesome in that movie, and it's this classic little ragtag group of people that come together and save the world. You know,
Very Tolkien-esque, yeah.
You have what do they call Warwick Davis's little people, the Nelwyns or something?
I really have to see it again. It's been a long time. I just remember that Madmartigan's kind of like a ranger character, sort of, right? Like Aragorn.
Yeah. He's like a rogue. He's in a cage.
Yeah, they find him in one of those. What are they called? Those cages that usually you find a skeleton in. It's like the shape of a dude. What's it called?
A gibbet.
Gibbet? Is that it?
I think it's a gibbet.
That's a fucking innocuous name for a human-sized cage that you starve to death in.
I'm pretty sure it's a gibbet.
Brutal. All right. Well, they found him in a gibbet.
Yeah, and like he takes a leap of faith and releases this guy that's obviously wronged someone. You have the two little brownie characters. Kevin Pollak.
Oh yeah,
plays the little.
Pollak is great. He's great in everything. I love Kevin Pollak.
Yeah, there's magic, there's sword fighting, and like they get beat pretty good.
I'll tell you,
they come back and win the day.
I'll tell you what, Madmartigan was way cooler than the little elf dude that Tom Cruise played. 100%, way cooler.
Well, I think in Legend versus Willow, like Tom Cruise's person is most like Willow in that analogy.
I guess that's true.
He's the Willow.
But there was a unicorn.
Legend.
Tim Curry's devil was really cool though.
Yes, he was.
All right, I didn't know this. I'm gonna have to go find this if it's possible. But apparently, in 1989, he played Billy the Kid in a TV movie called Billy the Kid.
Yeah, he sure did. I never saw this.
I never heard of that, but I'd like to see that just for the comparison.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Here it is, 1991. The Doors, Oliver Stone.
The movie that. No, were you a huge Doors fan when you saw this, or did this make you a Doors fan?
No, I was. The Doors came first. I got into the music first, and then I found this literally just the same way in the video store. I had always thought it was a documentary or like a concert movie, when I saw it on the shelves before. And then once I started getting into the music, I looked at it closer and realized it was an actual movie. I had no idea. Like, you couldn't look shit up back then. I didn't even know.
You just had to happen upon it.
I didn't even have a list of the albums that the Doors put out when they were still putting out records. I had no clue. Like, how would you know? I went to Walmart and I saw what the fuck they had in the Doors section. That's how I got started. I found my dad's old Best of the Doors cassette. That's how I initially started. That red and black
heard
one.
The songs. Yeah.
Yeah. And then finding the movie, and this was like that same era, like before high school. Right before high school, when I was finding all these things that I was going to be into for the rest of my life. In early high school, we found Hunter Thompson and through Fear and Loathing, and then right before that, I found all the beat writers and I found the Doors. It was the shit that carried me through my adolescence. And this movie was a huge part of it because, I didn't have a ton of money. Like, it wasn't like I could just go out and buy books about the Doors and buy all their records. Like, I had to really get it piece by piece because I was buying it all for myself or wait for birthdays and shit. You know how it was.
Oh yeah.
Because you had the same thing with Hendrix. That's how I always thought of it when we first started hanging out. It was like you were the Hendrix guy, I was the Doors guy. And but before I could afford those books and had the time to read the books about the real band, this movie was pretty close. And it's not super accurate.
No.
But it's not wildly inaccurate either, like some biopics are. And I think more importantly, it's hard to name a better performance of a singer. Yeah, real singer.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, it's hard to find an actor who can sing well and sing in character
And do an impression.
and sound like even Joaquin Phoenix. He did a great job in Walk the Line, and he got the notes right and the timbre right, but he doesn't sound like Johnny Cash.
No, he doesn't sound like Johnny Cash. to
No,
me
but he
at
did a
all.
great job. Like that was pretty impressive. Like there's times when Val Kilmer sounded like Jim Morrison.
Well, yeah, there's this famous bit of trivia about that movie where like apparently they played tracks of Jim Morrison singing and Val Kilmer singing, and the guys from the Doors couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, the survivor, because they were all still alive when the movie came out, very much so. And yeah, I hope that's true. I hope that's a true story, and I believe it too. I believe it because he really does, man. Especially the spoken word stuff. He got the tempo of the speech down almost exactly. And when you do, I don't see any shame in that, because if you're trying to replicate something that was actually recorded, why would you put your own spin on it or try to make it any different from the way it was recorded? Like that little bit, you're trying to do exactly the way it was done, I think, if you can, but I think most times they just can't. I guess Jamie Foxx, too, is worth mentioning.
Jamie Foxx really nailed
for
Ray Charles.
Yeah, I mean, the singing alone is hard to believe that that's him. And he really fucking sounds. Is it him the whole time, or?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx can sing.
Yeah,
He's an excellent singer.
And he can play. That's him playing too, piano, right? Like he's.
See, that I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me in
Yeah.
the slightest. Jamie Foxx is a very talented guy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that movie as a whole, but there's a lot of parts I like, and the performance sequences are just amazing. It's fantastic, and he even kind of looks like him. It's creepy. It's really creepy.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the triumvirate right there for the moment is
Ray, Walk the Line,
and the Doors. I think.
Yeah, the Doors.
Who, I think what? No, speak on it, man. I it's an Oliver Stone movie. It's not a perfect movie, believe me. I don't. There's a lot of things about it that are just you don't like it unless you're a super Doors fan and you're really into it. It's really up its own ass.
No, I like that movie. I was always a little jealous because like you got a Doors movie and I never got a Jimi Hendrix movie.
Yeah, they never did.
Or I mean, at least I did, but it's like it's not very good.
No, they never made a good one. It's a shame. And there's so much to tell. Like I always was shocked nobody tried to make a really good movie about all like that group of musicians that all
era.
interacted. Yeah, like I mean there was a lot of music going on at the time, of course, right? But the people who ended up at Woodstock, playing at Woodstock, and the ones who weren't allowed to play at Woodstock, like that group, because the Doors were part of the latter group, unfortunately, mostly because Morrison and Janis Joplin used to fucking physically beat the Christ out of each other every time they saw each other. But see, there's that recording you found.
Yeah.
Where did you find that? Do you remember?
I found that in like a secondhand record shop. It was just this like weird bootleg CD.
It was a CD, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And no, I found it on vinyl. I found one on red vinyl.
Oh, I knew it was something weird.
There was I had two copies. I had a CD and I had vinyl, and they both had one track on it that were listed differently. The one on the CD said FHITA, and on the vinyl it was called Morrison's Lament.
Morrison's Lament. I remember
the
that.
The story was like Jimi Hendrix was on stage playing an instrumental cover of Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles.
It might have been in Europe somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, they were in some club, and then Jim Morrison showed up, hammered. And he like slithered through the crowd, got on stage, grabbed a mic, and just starts wailing, "Fuck her in the ass."
That's right. He just starts for no reason.
Apparently, they beat him up, like the crowd. And apparently Janis Joplin was there, and she broke a bottle of Jack Daniels on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, because
epic.
They
just
all
that story alone.
They were all on tour together with Jefferson Airplane in Europe at one point. because they were all massively popular in Europe. I mean, that's where Hendrix started, right?
Yeah, it was like London, the London scene.
Man, that's all some really interesting shit to read about, and I'm again shocked they've never mined it for a movie, but I guess it's hard to get people to play those roles without it turning into a fucking comedy, right?
Well, right, yeah, because like we just said, it's really hard. You just detailed how hard it is to find somebody that can act and can sing and can just embody someone. And then imagine making that movie and having to do it 20 times.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is not by far the only movie that has depicted Jim Morrison in some scope, but all the rest have been horrifyingly bad, except for Wayne's World 2, which was amazing. That was a spoof on this. That was
That's a pretty good Morrison.
Yeah, the naked Indian guy and all that. That was a big spoof on this. Like, I think that's something too. If a movie has aspects of it that can be, satirized elsewhere and are for years, I guess it's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Got to be. The one that came after this in Val's career, I don't know if you know this one. I like this one. Came out the year after The Doors, called Thunderheart.
I've heard of this movie, and I know roughly what it's about. I've never seen it.
It's good. It's a tense little thriller. It's atmospheric, mostly because it's all shot on location, and it's really got the reservation as the backdrop really helps give it a lot of flavor. And he's really good, too. And it's a role you hadn't seen him in yet. He's a FBI agent. Young FBI agent who's part Native American, like a small part, and really doesn't embrace it, doesn't know much about it, and he's sent to investigate a series of crimes on a reservation. And there's a lot of it was made not too long after some serious confrontations with the FBI and Native American tribes in the U.S. over a number of things. So it's a neat little, I don't call it a period piece, but it's a movie that I don't think would get made at any other time other than the early 90s. Have you ever seen you've never seen it, you said? You just know what it's about?
I have not seen it, no.
Yeah, if you ever come across it, it's a good watch. It's got a good supporting cast. It's
I'll watch it.
What's his name's in it? The guy you love from Dances with Wolves and fucking everything else under the sun. The Native American
Kevin
dude.
Costner?
No, Graham Greene.
Oh, Graham Greene.
Graham
Yeah,
Greene.
Graham Greene's great. He's in everything.
Hilarious in Thunderheart. He's the local. He's the reservation chief police, tribal police, I think it's called. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
because Val Kilmer's dead straight in this. No comedy for Val in this at all. All the jokes go to Graham Greene, and they're great. And Fred Ward is in it. And Sam Shepard. You know Sam Shepard?
Yeah, I know who Sam Shepard is.
He plays the prick FBI agent. So
yeah, there's got to be a prick FBI agent.
That's a good one.
You've recommended this before. I have to watch it.
Yeah. It's like a long Ray-Ban commercial, too. So strap in for that. This next one has a special place in my heart, your heart, me and my wife's heart. True Romance.
I love this movie.
What a confluence of just talent that has collectively made so many things we love, right? You got Tarantino wrote this script. He didn't direct the movie, but he wrote the script.
Yeah, he sold this script to get the money to make Reservoir Dogs.
Right. And we've got Tony Scott directing it, who directed Top Gun, but a lot of great movies, too. A lot of great movies under his belt. You got Brad Pitt. You got Gandolfini. The cast is ridiculous. And Val Kilmer plays the weirdest part in this movie. He is the fantasy Elvis Presley that lives in Christian Slater's head, whose face you never see.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama.
He's credited.
Always will.
What does he say? He's like,
the mentor, I think,
like
right?
I like you. Yeah, the mentor.
I like you, Clarence. Always have.
Clarence, that's
always will.
Always will.
Like Clarence will be alone in the bathroom and you just hear like Elvis sounds coming from the background with an echo on him. There's Val Kilmer talking as Elvis. It was fucking great. I just love it. It's a wonderful.
He had that gold jacket.
Yeah, you see like the shoulder, right? It's just
Yeah, you
all
never see his
sequins.
face.
And you see like the hair.
Yeah, they piled a 4-foot pompadour on the top of his head.
Like, what a weird role for a dude who is essentially a movie star at this point to take.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Movie stars didn't do that at the time. Tom Cruise wasn't doing that shit.
Well, this is what you said in the very beginning. You said he didn't really cling to the role of a movie star. He did weird stuff like this.
Like, and also, I guess we got to address. I heard the rumors a lot, and I'm sure you heard a little bit of it too through the years that he was really hard to work with.
Yeah, I've heard he was notorious for that.
I don't know. After reading about it and hearing about it for years and years, it always seems to me that like he had trouble working with some people, and if he did, it wasn't. You were gonna know about it. But the people he got along with making movies, he really got along with. And I guess you could probably say that for anybody with a strong personality.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't think my man was turning down roles because he was hard to work with, not at this time. Not at this time in his career. You know, we're what, not even 10 years away from Top Gun. And shockingly, he hasn't done that many movies. You know? Like,
no, not really.
And that's another indication too that he didn't try to cash in super hard and take all these action movie leads that I'm sure he got offered, you know?
He's got some cherry roles in a relatively small slice of his career.
Yeah. So after True Romance, which is a really short, small role, that same year he had The Real McCoy come out, which I'm not super familiar with. Are you? Kim
I've never seen
Basinger.
this.
Let's take a look here. It's him, Kim Basinger, and that's about it. Really? Yeah, I don't know if this has anything to do with the old TV show or I have no idea. I guess that's one for the list, right?
Yeah.
The Real McCoy. All right, I'll give you the honor. This is yours. Same year.
What?
Had another
Same
movie
year.
come out.
Same year as True Romance, we got 1993's Tombstone. Oh my God! And Val Kilmer portrays the incomparable Doc Holliday. And like we talked about this at length, but I feel like it just bears mentioning again. Like this might be his finest performance in a movie.
I think most people consider it. I mean, if they don't consider Morrison it's this. And I honestly, this is.
You know what's so impressive about it too? When I just watched this recently. Doc Holliday is this over the top, flamboyant character, right?
Yeah.
But like he doesn't act all that over the top. You know,
No.
like the behavior is, but the acting is just so subdued. Like he pisses people off to no end.
Yeah.
But like
there's an audacity to him.
He barely raises his voice. You know,
That's true.
And he's just it's amazing that he's able to just command every bit of screen time he has, you know, without really even speaking above of a whisper. And then people like they pick the lines, you know, like I'm a Huckleberry, you know, Daisy if you do. But like one of the best bits of acting in that whole movie is just he's speaking barely above a whisper at the end in the hospital bed.
Oh man, that scene.
Yeah, he's telling Wyatt to go live his life and don't fret for me. Live for me. If you ever had bared any love for me.
Have you ever had the slightest feeling for me? Leave now.
that tear rolls down his cheek, rolls right off his cheek.
Yeah.
It was a masterful bit of acting.
How about that very last line when he looks at his feet? He's, this is funny.
What does he say?
He says, this is funny.
Oh, this is funny.
Because he always said he would die with his boots on. That's what that shot is about. He always said he'd die with his boots on when he knew he was going to die of TB, right? He vowed he would die with his boots on, and nope, not quite. Yeah. if you
incredible performance.
Thinking about what you just said, if you contrast the way he played Doc Holliday with the way Dennis Quaid played the character in Wyatt Earp, which came out right around the same time, he did fly off the handle a lot, and he relied on a lot of yelling and
coughing,
a lot of kind of. He was a bigger
Johnny Ringo.
Yeah, he was a much bigger, boisterous personality. And like you said, like Doc he stood out, you know, and he said inflammatory shit, but he didn't have to do it loudly, man. And it's just such a cool character. From everything, the guns, the way he was just handled himself, the fact that he looked so sick through the whole movie, but was still like dapper as shit, sweating his ass off from a fever. I don't know, man. It was just perfect. It was perfect. The scenes he got to do with Kurt Russell, the scenes he got to do with Michael Biehn, that last gunfight, dude, with him and Johnny Ringo.
Incredible.
It's just epic shit. Like it's an action movie for all intents and purposes, but it's just a damn good Western, and it's the first Western in a long time that had scenes that were that memorable and a movie that you just wanted to watch. Because Unforgiven is an incredible Western, but it's one of the saddest fucking movies ever made. You want to watch, like Wyatt Earp is a sad fucking long fucking movie. You'll want to watch Tombstone like every year, at least, right?
Yeah,
every
it
year.
holds up so well.
And it's just, you forget all these little things, and just they're all like these amazing bonuses when you go through it again. And a lot of it's just watching Val Kilmer do his thing, you know? Did you ever see the deleted scenes from this movie?
No, I don't think I have.
There's a weird little montage that they cut where Doc Holliday is reciting a poem. And it's pretty dark. I think it's supposed to have been right after Morgan gets killed.
Right.
So he's all drunk and shit in the night and like talking to the rain, I think. You should check it out. Just, you know, YouTube Tombstone deleted scenes. I'm sure you'll find it. It's worth a watch.
Oh, Johnny, I'm sorry. I forgot you were there. You may go now.
That was Billy Bob Thornton with the shotgun. Johnny Tyler, Madcap. Where you going with that shotgun?
Incredible.
And I adore the way Sam Elliott looks at him when he says hello to him. Like, hello, Doc. And he just gives him this like he's regarding a rattlesnake or something with his gigantic mustache. Just that whole cast, dude. Fucking epic. Just a great movie, man. I don't care when anyone says, I don't know how it only has a 7.8 on IMDb. Fuck all you people.
It's the greatest collection of mustaches ever filmed.
Bar none. Bar none. Including Big Nose Kate.
Big Nose Kate.
That's her fucking name. I didn't make it up.
I know.
Big Nose Kate. Big Nose Kate.
That's why you're not wearing a bustle.
How dude. Batman Forever. Schumacher. Nipples. Robin. Tommy Lee Jones. Do you want to hear something really fucking hilarious?
Yes.
Val Kilmer was up for an Oscar for Doc Holliday. He lost. Do you know who he lost to?
No.
Tommy Lee Jones for his portrayal of Sam Gerard in The Fugitive for Best Supporting Actor.
Tommy Lee. Now listen, I like The Fugitive.
I do too. I do
Great
too.
movie.
But bro, he
Tommy
basically
Lee
played a
Jones
cop. He just played a standard cop, man. Yeah.
And beat out Doc Holliday?
Yeah. And then they had to star together in Batman Forever.
Maybe that's what. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I forgot. Tommy Lee Jones
He
is
was
Two-Face. He was just
bad.
He's playing Two-Face, and he was just doing Jim Carrey the whole time.
Like, I love me some Tommy Lee Jones, but he had no fucking business being in that movie. I hope that he got paid a ton of money. But that was some weird miscasting right there, and an otherwise pretty well cast goofball movie, I gotta say.
as much as I like Val Kilmer, he was not a good Bruce Wayne. I don't think he
You
was.
don't think so? I kind of liked him. I thought he was all right.
He was just.
I just don't think the
straight-laced.
script had anything for him to do.
Bat signal is not a beeper. Yeah, the script was awful.
They didn't give him any, Bruce Wayne-y stuff to do. They didn't give him any Playboy stuff to do. Like,
Well,
he was just in love with Chase Meridian the whole time. Fucking Chase Meridian.
He's got that one line. He's like, Dr. Chase, do you like the circus?
Jesus.
He has this little lisp.
Does he in that line?
Somebody pointed it out to me one day, and like I can't unhear it now. Dr. Chase, do you like the circus?
All right.
It's just one of those Valisms that he had. And then
Like
and then when he's
he would move his lower jaw after he said a sentence, like for emphasis almost.
Yeah,
That was a Valism.
And then in the circus scene when they're like, trying to flush Batman out, and there's all the noise, he's like, Harvey, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. It was just, it's so bad.
That whole movie's bad, though.
That movie's not bad because of Val Kilmer. It's just, it's not good.
Edward Nigma.
I think Jim Carrey could have been great, but ultimately, like, they dressed him the way he did.
Too heavy in that.
They dressed him the way they did, and like they wanted everything to be turned up to 11, and you can't turn Jim Carrey up to 11 because
he's already there.
Yeah, his 11 is like, or his 5 is like an 11 for everyone else.
Yeah, and I mean, Val never came back and did another one. George Clooney did it next, and gotta say, pretty smart move, because if there's a movie that's worse than Batman Forever, it's Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin is unforgivable.
Unwatchable.
Batman Forever, there's at least like some stuff that like you could be like, oh, that's
oh no, it's boiling acid.
Oh my God. Right from the word go.
That's the first fucking
boiling
scene.
acid. It's the worst delivery of a line ever.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, he redeems himself literally later that year. In one of his most unforgettable roles in Heat, with one of the best ensemble casts ever assembled for a movie under Michael Mann.
How do you say his last name in this movie?
I think it's Shaharis.
Shahairless?
Shahairless. Yeah. Like she's hairless.
She hairless.
I'm going to go with that. I don't remember. They call him Chris a lot. Al Pacino.
She hairless.
Robert
and
De
she
Niro.
had a great ass.
Great ass. He's, again, oddly enough, he's the most serious one of the group of really serious bank robbers in this. He gets a bit more story than Danny Trejo or Sizemore do with their characters. He gets, a cheating wife, and him and De Niro's Neil McCauley, they have some history. He gets a ponytail. That's right. He gets an extremely sickly pallor. And he gets to shoot a lot of dudes. And he gets to survive. More importantly, he's the only fucking one who gets to survive. He lives. He walks off, not into the sunset, into the night with a bullet wound, and has to leave everything behind. But he doesn't go to prison, and he doesn't die.
I saw this movie because you found out that I thought it was stupid without having seen it.
Yes.
And you were outraged by that, and you were like, "We must correct this." And I gotta say, I loved it. I don't know. I was tainted. I was primed to think it was dumb by my elders, and you had to fix that.
Don't trust anyone over 30, man.
Aren't we? We're over 30.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I have this on 4K, and I have not watched it yet. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I guess now is as good a time as any.
You're trying to get through the pile of movies that you purchase.
See, it's a real concern. All right, so we got a flop coming this year. 1996. A little bit of a flop. The Island of Dr. Moreau.
What an insane movie.
There's a documentary about the making of this that it's more insane than anyone could ever have possibly known. This thing was a shit show without Marlon Brando involved, but it also had Marlon Brando involved when he was at his peak of crazy and largeness. Man, what a weird fucking movie. It's supposed to, the classic novel, Island of Dr. Moreau, has been made into a movie before, but this had all the makings of, a modern makeup heavy, special effects heavy adaptation that should have worked, but it turned into a disaster. Apparently, originally, Kilmer was supposed to play the lead in this, which ended up being played by, what's his name from the Harry Potter movies?
David Thewlis?
Yes, Thewlis. Kilmer was supposed to play Douglas. And he was going through a bad divorce, when they were filming this movie. And he had tried to get out of the contract. Like, he didn't want to do it. And, like, it turned into one of those fucking things like, no, you're going to have to fucking do it, or you got to pay him like $2 million or some shit. So he fucking did it. But he weaseled his way out of it, out of the lead, and ended up playing Montgomery, like the henchman of Dr. Moreau. And he's pretty weird. He's pretty weird in this as Montgomery. He's just kind of eating drugs the whole time and wearing weird shit and talking crazy.
I remember very little about this movie. I saw it for sure.
I watched it not long ago. It's pretty fresh for me.
It's just like a fever dream.
It's not as messy as it really should have been, considering the director got fired and then he stalked the production pretending to be an extra in the jungle. It should have been a lot worse. It's actually kind of a coherent story when it's all said and done. It's just not that good, and it's kind of gross. And
it is gross.
The creatures are just a little too... They're a little too gross. I gotta say it. They're just a little too gross. You can't like them.
And they're all still, like, man-shaped.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. The movie is supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's just... Man, I can't put my finger on it. There's just something really wrong with it.
Do you remember when we were kids, there was a kid show called Zoobilee Zoo? You remember Zoobilee Zoo?
I can't say that I do.
Oh, God.
Zoobilee? No.
It was like nightmare fuel. It always reminded, like, Island of Dr. Moreau always reminded me of this stupid show called Zoobilee Zoo that my sisters loved, and I hated it. And I had to, like, they wanted it on, and it was their turn, so I had to sit through it, and it was awful. That's what they always reminded me of. I have to find it and send it to you.
I can't share in the hatred of Zoobilee Zoo with you. I would love to, though.
Terrible.
All right. Moving on. Later that same year, in a completely different move, Ghost of the Darkness came out. The Ghost and the Darkness.
That movie's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. It's mostly a true story. My wife one year got me the journal of Colonel John Henry Patterson, whom Val plays in this movie, about the real Lions of Tsavo. And it was a hell of a story, man. There's some crazy shit happened there.
You remember the voiceover guy on the outro?
Yeah.
You
lock eyes with them, you will be
still strike fear until at the Fields Museum in Chicago.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I've been to that museum, and I saw the Tsavo lions when I was a kid.
Yeah, the taxidermy apparently is not great.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I've seen pictures.
But I'd seen that movie, and I was like, I wasn't. Yeah, I forget how old I was. I was a bit older. My dad and I took a trip to Chicago, and I was like, and we were totally forgot about that movie. I was like, oh shit, the Tsavo lions, and he's like, what are those?
Oh yeah.
So I got to tell him all about it.
I gotta say, I do somewhat hate Michael Douglas in this. I think he's pretty fucking terrible. For as not incredible and wavering as Kilmer's Irish accent is in this movie, Douglas's Southern accent is horrendous.
It's not
in
good.
this. It's so bad with an unproven rifle.
You went into battle with an unproven rifle.
And the audacity of the filmmakers to name his idiotic character Remington. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
Do you remember who gave him the unproven rifle?
Yeah, the doctor with the beard. What's his name?
Yeah, it's the King Theoden.
Yes, Theoden, that son of a bitch.
Theoden, King of Rohan.
I'm the doctor here, and my advice to you is don't get sick.
He just died. That guy died last year.
He was an excellent actor. He was in Game of Thrones, too, right?
I don't think so.
No? I thought he had a part in that. Okay.
You know he was the one they originally offered to roll a Gandalf to?
I did not know that. I did not know. Different film. No, I like The Ghost in the Darkness a lot. I remember when this came out, like, to rent. My dad rented it. We watched it. It scared the Christ out of me. I loved it.
I remember the trailer.
Yeah.
They show Michael Douglas and they're panning over. Like they've clearly found the lair where all the bodies are, and you hear Michael Douglas go, "They're doing it for the pleasure." Yeah. And I was like, "That sounds awesome."
Yeah, and then when they tear up the hospital, the part that freaked me out all the time was when they drag the guy out of his tent. One of the first guys they kill, and it's so silent, and they did it without music. It really was. That scared the Christ out of me. And yeah, when they find the den, when they find the lion's den and all the bones, that's when Michael Douglas says that line. And that's fucking scary the first time, is when you're a little kid.
I read about those lions and how that's based on a true story. Do you know what they think caused it?
I think, didn't they say like they were, their teeth, right? Were shitty?
Their teeth were fucked up.
Yeah. Oftentimes that's what it is when they become man-eaters. They either have a broken tooth or they're wounded in some way and can't run fast enough to take down anything but people.
Yeah, people are easier to catch and eat.
Yeah.
You're not chewing through hide or anything.
Right, and we're pretty fucking slow compared to a goddamn gazelle.
Soft man flesh.
Yeah, they just have to not get shot. Yeah, the numbers are staggering, too. Those fucking lions ate a lot of people there in Savo.
They sure did.
Now, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, that's a good one. It's, I don't know, it's not a horror movie, but there's definitely some horror elements, and it's just naturally kind of scary.
Yeah, man. Those were like the names they gave the lions, the Ghost in the Darkness. That's awesome.
How about the dream sequence when he sees his wife at the train station? The baby.
Yeah, that shit.
Look at the baby.
Me up,
look
man.
at the baby. Look at the baby.
Look at me. Look at the baby.
No.
I like for a second they had me, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
They let it go just long enough that you're wondering if they really did it, and they show the lion biting. Oh goddamn! And what's his name when he gets fucking wasted? The religious dude who's not a priest, but he's always trying to convert everybody. The Irish guy in the beginning.
That's right.
That's fucking horse.
Tom Wilkinson, I think.
Is that his name? Yeah. Brutal. All right.
Oh no, not Tom. I got the wrong guy. But yeah, I remember.
This next one was contentious for some people.
I've seen this.
The Saint with Elizabeth Shue.
I remember liking this movie.
I liked it as a 12-year-old boy.
Well, yeah, that's when I saw it.
Watching it now, it's pretty goofy. There's some laughable dialogue in this, man. It's like a fun little adventure. It's hard to tell who it was made for. Like, it almost has a tone like it's made for kids or like tweens, but the subject matter is not tweenish at all.
No,
it has to do with fusion.
Cold fusion.
Yeah, cold fusion and some weird conspiracies in post-Soviet Russia, and he's
friends, countrymen, Russians.
That fucking guy was like the stock Russian everything for half a decade or more.
If you needed a Russian,
if you needed a bearded Russian, you needed that fucking dude.
All you had to do was call Rade Zerbedja.
Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that there, champ.
Zerbedzia.
Zerbedzia.
He played Ivan Tretiak.
Tretiak, that's right. Tretiak, that was the dude, and he had that evil son with the ponytail, evil ponytail. Look at the ponytail, look at the ponytail.
This was a goofy movie, but like,
I don't know, man.
I mean,
there's things I like
liked it.
about it. It's a spy. It's a light-hearted spy movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Val
There was
Kilmer
that
gets to
bit-
dress up in a bunch of outfits and do weird accents.
Oh, that's right. He had a bunch of disguises.
Yeah, that's the whole shtick. He has all these disguises, and they're all names of saints. All their names are.
He had a
saints.
horrible name. He played Simon Templar.
Yeah, Simon. That's his real name. That's his real name. I don't know if you ever actually see if they ever actually say it through the movie.
That's
This
what
was
he's
supposed to be
credited
setting
as.
up a film series, you know. This was a TV show. This was a TV show back
It's like
in the
a
70s.
like a reboot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he actually has one of the characters he does is like a Jim Morrison-y character, which is funny. He's a poet or some shit, but he wears the leather pants and he has long hair. And it's so ridiculous. He's like crying in chapel doorways and shit, just thinking about life. It's fucking great. That's the guy Elizabeth Shue falls in love with. Thomas More.
Thomas More.
That's the character, Thomas More. All right. Prince of Egypt, I don't know nothing about no Prince of Egypt. It was voiceover work. I don't care.
It's worth mentioning that he was the voice of God.
The voice of God. The Lord our God.
My God.
At First Sight with the incomparable Mira Sorvino. I saw
never
this
seen
once. It was kind of...
Oh, wait, I have seen this. He's blind, right?
He's blind, and then he gets unblind, and then he has trouble dealing with unblindness.
Sight?
He gets sighted. Yes, he becomes sighted. They fix him.
Unblindness, otherwise known as sight.
They fix him through surgery, and then he
have
finds
seen
that
this.
not all his problems are solved by not being blind. Yeah, it's a love story. It's okay. It's medium. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. And oddly enough, already this is where his career starts kind of drifting into the background of things. I don't really think he has another big hit after this, to be honest.
No, he doesn't.
We're going to roll
He's
through
in
this.
stuff that
There's some
we've
good
seen.
movies. Yeah, there's some things. So after this, he's in something called Joe the King. I never saw that in 99. Apparently, he was in the Pollock movie.
The one with, was it Ed Harris?
Yeah, Ed Harris plays Jackson Pollock, and he's a supporting role in that. Red Planet. I've seen that. That was supposed to be a big budget hit.
I heard that was bad.
It's not great. He's pretty good in it, to be honest. He's sort of the quasi lead. He's actually really good in it, but the story overall isn't so great. Half of the movie is Trinity from Matrix.
Carrie Ann Moss?
Yeah, she's bobbing around alone in a spaceship trying to fight fires and shit. It's goofy. Tom Sizemore's in it, reunited.
Oh, from the Heat Boys.
Yeah, I liked it when I first saw it, but it doesn't really hold up, and the robot in it is kind of scary. If you've ever read Fahrenheit 451, it's very.
I have read that book.
It's very similar to the autonomous robot that hunts people down. In that, it's really similar to that, and in this day and age when we actually have those weird robot dog things running around, it's
Those Boston Dynamics.
Yeah,
those are terrifying.
There's a lot of companies making them now, and it's fucking scary. Supposedly Kawasaki is working on one that you can ride like a horse over like any kind of terrain. I don't know, man.
Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of people were shitting on it. You know, there was a concept video, but it seemed kind of interesting to me. It seemed like the people shitting on it don't know a lot about anything. They're like, we already have horses. Yeah. Yeah.
Go find one.
Yeah.
Go get a horse.
Go find one. Tell me how much it costs to get a horse.
Go to
and
your
the
local
tackle.
dealer.
Yeah,
and
where do you
finance a horse?
I can keep a fucking robot horse in my garage. I can't keep a horse in my garage because it makes a lot of poop, like a lot of poop.
It does.
And these things, they're all electric with solar panels that you can deploy and shit. Like, I don't know. It could be interesting.
Cyber horse.
Cyber horse, man. Whatever. If you like the genre, it's a non-supernatural, non-alien, futuristic space thing. Space exploration, I guess you would call it. Where everything that could possibly go wrong goes wrong. Like if you're okay,
Space problems.
Yeah, if you're okay with the physics in The Martian, the Matt Damon movie, you should be okay with everything that happens in this movie because they're not much different, and even the ending is like exactly the fucking same. Like, you know how in the ending of The Martian, Matt Damon finds the old Russian Matt Damon. Yeah, the old Russian probe return rocket thing, and he like strips it down and boosts it, and that's what shoots him off into space.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer is like the last one alive, and he literally does the same fucking thing.
Only that this came first.
This did come first. Matt Damon stole it. Stole it, yo.
Yeah, Matt Damon stole everything from the
Matt Damon, the thief. Thief in the night. Speaking of Matt Damon, I saw this reel. I think I sent it to you. Louis C.K. It's a recent bit of him doing a bit about Good Will Hunting. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
And what it must have been like to write Good Will Hunting. And it's something I never thought of before. You should look it up. He's really not wrong.
I'll have to find it.
And he's talking all about how, imagine like you're sitting down and you're writing the script and you're going to be playing this character and you're just like, yeah, he's like a hardworking dude, like does blue collar stuff, is real loyal to his friends and his neighborhood, and he's been through a ton of shit, but he's also like super fucking smart, man. Like so smart, he makes the douchers at the college where he's a janitor like feel real stupid. That's how smart he is. And it's like, wow, yeah, like you got to be a real dick to come up with this character and then be like, I'm gonna play him.
Right.
But he has this great little like bit within it. He's just like about the part with the how about them apples scene, with the I got a number. How about them apples? He's like, what if the guy says he doesn't like apples? What the fuck do you do then? Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. If you're like, do you like apples? And he goes, no.
No, I fucking don't. What do you just say yes?
I like
come
oranges.
Come on, just say yes. Just say yes. I got a bit. I'm doing a bit. You got to check it out. It's pretty funny. All right.
You like apples? Go away.
Get the fuck away from me, trash. Here comes one. Most of the world doesn't know about this movie.
This is a Tom and Dave movie.
This is a special.
Through and through.
Like, this is one that we were bizarrely obsessed with for a weird length of time. What, in high school, right? This was high school? No, it couldn't have been.
Well, no. Came
Couldn't
out
have
in
been.
2002.
Yeah.
We just graduated.
I guess we were home from school in the summer or something. Yeah, I feel like this was a summer movie. Salt and Sea. 2002, Salt and Sea. As far as I know, this was a straight to DVD movie. I don't think this did theaters. And I love it. I still love this movie. I have it on DVD. I don't think you can really find it anywhere.
You can't. I've looked. We got to watch this at some point.
I absolutely still have it. And it's the same DVD I've had all this time. I don't know how the hell it hasn't gotten destroyed. It's the one we bought at like West Coast Video. Probably. Yeah. We found this in the video store, and it was one of those movies where you're just like, I love this, and I'm gonna watch this 10,000 times. It's got everything. It's got drugs. Dude. It's got secret backstories. It's got alternate personalities. It's got crooked cops. It's got Vincent D'Onofrio with no nose, pig nose.
I don't think it's a good movie.
I don't know. I can't tell. Like.
That's my point. Like, I don't think it's a good movie because I liked it so much. But, I don't think I like it as much now. Because I haven't seen it in forever, and my brain is like, there are things that don't work about this. You need to accept that.
Like, I like to think that I'm pretty good at trying to watch movies with fresh eyes if I'm really trying. I guess I haven't seen this in a long time, but it hasn't been that long. It's like a modern noir movie, like a neo-noir, L.A. noir, you know? That's how I think of it. And it's even structured kind of that way, too. And, I mean, is it high cinema? No. It's like a Pulp Fiction story. It's kind of grindhousey, to be honest. I think it's pretty cool.
It's got a stacked ass cast.
Yeah,
Run
especially in retrospect.
Val Kilmer, Peter Sarsgaard.
Before he was anybody. Yeah, this was one of his earliest things that he ever did. And the Cougar.
Adam Goldberg.
D'Onofrio.
Vince D'Onofrio.
Luis Guzman, who just
Luis
makes
Guzman.
everything he's in better. The weird sex pest Doug Hitchinson from Green Mile and Other Fare. LaPaglia, Anthony LaPaglia, my man.
Yep. Danny Trejo.
Glenn Plummer of Showgirls fame. He's in this. He plays
Arlie Ermey.
Bobby Ocean.
Oh, Bobby Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. B.D. Wong.
B.D. Wong's in it. Yep.
Chandra West, who I thought was Melissa George.
Yep, you
for
did.
many, many years. My bad. Meatloaf.
And the guy from Buck Cherry.
And the guy from Buck Cherry was that Josh Todd. Danny Trejo. Did we say Danny Trejo?
Yep, I said Danny Trejo.
Right. Meatloaf. Say it again. Meat.
Yep, Meatloaf's in it for like 8 seconds.
The Loaf. Shalom Harlow. What the hell was she in this?
There's
Nancy.
a lot of people in this movie.
I remember Nancy. Yeah, Arlie Ermey has a really small role.
She might have been one of like the random tweakers.
Yeah, she might have been the one taking apart the keyboard or whatever it was.
Or like the one with
drug
the socks
scenes
on
are
her
pretty
hands.
good in this. And there's the 2 fantasy scenes that are really funny about the theft. Remember the big score? Cujo's big score? When they're going to steal the poop?
When they're going to steal Bob Hope's
stool sample.
Hey, guy's a fucking national treasure.
Which one is he? What actor played that fucking character? Oh my god!
I don't know, but he had eyes tattooed in the back of his head.
The craziest. Maybe that was Who the fuck? He's not here. How is he not here? Oh, that was amazing.
He starts trying to explain the heist, and he's just like, "Hey, what kind of fucking drink is that? What kind of fucking drink is that? A tequila libre. Can I have a sip? No, fuck off.
Like a rum and coke." We got to watch this again, man. We have to. And all of D'Onofrio's scenes are hilarious because he's playing a character who has no nose and he's wearing a rubber nose. But you know him, he had him stuff his nose full of cotton and he like interviewed people and how they speak when they have no nose. And there's like this whistle thing he does and he eats the calf's brains thing, that part. That's rough and scary. The JFK assassination recreation with pigeons.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. They have the little RC cars.
Fire!
Jesus.
Oh, Jackie, looking radiant as ever. And the car pulls into Dealey Plaza. Beautiful sun shining. Fire!
Yeah, they just blast away with like pellet guns.
And then Guzman has one of my favorite fucking lines in history in this movie. Yo, you mad dogging me, bitch?
You mad dogging me, bitch?
No, it's just admiring your boots. You purchased them locally. Yeah, fuck you. And Kilmer was really cool in this, man. Like the Danny Ocean scene when they go to buy the 8 balls from him. Kilmer's pretty amazing. Like
maybe she's a black belt.
He's so funny while also looking like he's been up for 5 days. Like legit. He's great in that scene, dude. Absolutely. Do you remember what the elbow thing that we discovered when we were watching this movie?
What, he had like a big bone spur on his elbow or something.
The character has that huge arm tattoo, which I always thought was really cool. It's like it almost looks like the Godsmack symbol radiating from his elbow. right, with black and red.
Well, no, it's up on his shoulder.
I thought it was around his elbow. His elbow's tattooed though, right? Because that's how we saw it.
Well, the whole thing, he gets shot in the shoulder.
Yeah,
and then the tattoo starts around the shoulder and comes down his arm, and then we're like, what the fuck is wrong with his elbow?
He's got this big knot on the joint of his elbow, and then I read it in a magazine that when he was filming The Doors, doing one of the stage falls where he jumps off the stage, he landed wrong and he broke his elbow, and it healed funny, and he never got it fixed.
Like, real funny.
Yeah, and he never got it fixed, and he just kind of left it that way. So that's what Jim Morrison did to him. Yeah, oh fuck, man, we got to watch this movie. DJ Caruso directed it, never heard of him.
Yep.
Danny Parker. My
name's Danny Parker. I play the trumpet.
Play the trumpet.
I'm a trumpet player. Good Lord, what a weird...
The goddess lost.
We should go.
Like they slow it down for some reason, and it's so weird.
What's next?
I'm working on it. I don't know, man. We got some weird shit coming up. We got Hard Cash. Don't know. He played a dude named Cornell.
Yeah, this is where he like falls off a cliff.
We got a movie called Masked and Anonymous where he played Animal Wrangler. Okay, then we have a great movie, Wonderland.
This is another Tom and Dave movie.
Yeah, 2003 Wonderland. He plays the porn star, the legendary 70s porn star John Holmes, Johnny Wad.
Johnny Wad.
Talk about another fucking stacked cast, man. Holy shit. This was about the real so-called Wonderland murders that happened in L.A. in the 70s, involving the very real John Holmes. We had Lisa Kudrow, Kate Bosworth, very young, Christina Applegate, Carrie Fisher, Dylan McDermott. Come on, there's more. There's Josh Lucas. We all know Josh Lucas, right? Ted Levine.
Yeah, Josh Lucas.
The incomparable Ted Levine. And Tim Blake Nelson, baby. This is a great
Tim
movie.
Blake Nelson?
He was one of the dudes that lived in the house, in the Wonderland house.
Who's the guy? What's the name of the guy that played Nash?
Oh, Don't Fuck with the Nash?
Nobody fucks with the Nash.
He was the bad guy from Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Crawl like dog.
All right, I'm going deep. I'm digging deeper into the cast. I'm going to find him. Fine. Nash. Eric Bogosian. Eric Bogosian.
Yes.
That's him. MC McGinley was in this, too. That's not John C. Paris Hilton was in this.
What?
She plays a character named Barbie, apparently. I must have been in the background somewhere. Janine Garofalo. That's right. She has like a one scene where she walks through the room.
Either way, this movie, it's about the murders and the idea that like John Holmes is involved in some way. He's like the only witness they have.
Everyone else is
of the
dead.
happenings.
Everyone else is dead.
Everyone else has been beaten to death with pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was all these semi-criminal drug dealer type dudes that he knew that used to buy a lot of blow-off. He had a deep cocaine problem. He was a fucking disaster at this point. And, he makes it. And I love the way they leave the ending. Like, they kind of confirm
it's ambiguous.
They give you the two branches at the end based on the two different sides of the story, which is neat. And then, like, the dream he has could, they're kind of saying he was involved and that he did it, but also it's a dream. So what are you going to do? But it's really cool ending. It's a lot of payoff, I think, for a movie that kind of starts off as like a kind of just a crime drug movie. I think it turns into a little bit more by the end. I think it's really underrated. I think. What do you think? You like it, Tom? You gonna stick with it? We keep it.
I do like it. There's a couple things that like
the
piss me off
Nash.
a little
You don't
bit.
like the Nash.
Yeah, nobody fucks with the Nash. And then the cops arguing with each other, I think we talked about this once before. The cops are arguing in such a way that like it's clearly written as a recap of the plot for the audience.
That's true.
And we're like Ted Levine is just like, how about this guy?
Yeah.
he that was the love of his
Remember
life.
this guy from
Why
the
would
first
he-
from the first act that you probably forgot.
Remember what he said about doing heroin? He can't be trusted. But remember his wife was killed, so he must be telling the truth. They just lay out the whole movie in this one horrible bit of exposition. It's a small gripe, though.
Okay, I'll take your grapes. Anyway, he was really good, and he had to do some really intense scenes. Like every scene he was in kind of had to be intense. That one where he comes home covered in blood to Lisa Kudrow's house, his ex-wife, and she like takes care of him and then slowly realizes he's covered in someone else's blood. That was pretty good. That's a pretty good piece of acting right there. Gotta say.
I remember when she's like shaming him, and he just starts acting like a little kid.
Yeah,
because she's like, do you remember what I said about people who do what you do? And he's like, you said that anyone sells their body is a whore.
Yeah,
and he's like moping like a little like a kid.
Yep. Until he finally gets a little adrenaline and comes back to himself, and he starts screaming again. It's a roller coaster, man. He's played a lot of drug addicts in his career by then, a couple, 2 or 3. Christ, the Doors research alone, fuck.
Jesus.
All right, I know the movie The Missing. He's got a small part in it. I wasn't aware he was in this movie. That's that Tommy Lee Jones Western-esque movie.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't remember him being in it at all. So I don't know.
Me neither.
I don't know what Blind Horizon is in 2003. I do know what Spartan is. He was in a movie called Spartan in 2004 that I have a strong affinity for. This is a David Mamet movie, written and directed. He has a really interesting style of writing. Like you could call it, I think it's like Sorkin light, kind of.
Sorkin light.
Like he's really into showing instead of telling, and
okay.
He really gets into jargon and shorthand. And in this case, it's jargon and shorthand on CIA dark operatives, but in sort of a realistic sense, not in the Hollywoody sense. Like these are the guys who truly, like, they have no identity. They don't care who they kill. They're like government fixers. They're the ones who get shit done no matter what. And it sounds cliched, but there's none of the posturing that's typical of these kind of movies, that kind of setup. And it's just a very serious, it exists very much in its own little world. It really creates a bubble for it, and it's easy to poo-poo it if you watch it and you're like, nobody really talks like this. And yeah, that's kind of the point. Like half the shit they say is in code. You're not supposed to understand what the fuck they're trying to say a lot of the times. You've never seen it, I assume, right?
No, I've not.
I kind of think you would like it, but I also feel like there are things you would make fun of a lot.
Yeah, probably.
It's one of those movies where they repeat things a lot. Certain phrases. Where's the girl? That's a big one.
Where's the trigger?
But a pretty solid cast. William H. Macy has a big supporting role. Kristen Bell, very young in this. Clark Gregg, he's the dude from the Marvel universe. Agent Coulson, right?
Oh, Agent Coulson, Phil Coulson.
Phil Coulson, yeah, he's got a pretty good part in this.
Phil, who's Phil? His name is Agent.
Oh, Phil. We're calling him Phil. And what's his name? Al Bundy is in this.
Ed O'Neill?
Ed O'Neill, the incomparable Ed. Yeah, Ed O'Neill. He's in this.
Ed O'Neill's a great actor.
Yeah, he's pretty great. He's pretty great. This is definitely one you should check out, though. I think you would like it. Like I said, it's kind of spycraft, kind of mystery type of thing. Military-esque, kind of deep, dark, black bag shit. So if you're in the mood, And you don't know how it ends, so it'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm into it.
All right, we got some shit to skip. I am going to mention this, though. Did you ever watch Entourage when it was on?
I did not watch Entourage.
I don't know why me and my wife liked it, and we watched it all. There's an episode early in the show where he plays a character called the Sherpa. And the Sherpa is a weed dealer. And the setup of the episode is that L.A. is dry. There's like no weed in L.A. And the crew happens upon this dude who he lives in a house somewhere in the hills with goats everywhere and like weed nymphs, and there's just pot growing everywhere. And he looks like a Lebowski-esque dude, like turned up to 12. Huge robe on, big beard, fucking giant sunglasses and shit. And he's just, this you could definitely find on YouTube. Like, you just look for Val Kilmer, Entourage. It's worth watching the 2 scenes he's in because he is so fucking funny, man. He's so fucking funny.
I have to find him.
Yeah, check it out. Then real quick, Alexander in 2014, in 2004, I'm sorry. This is Oliver Stone, right? Again?
Yes, it is.
This was the epic that should have been and wasn't.
This movie's god-awful.
It's really bad for a ton of reasons. Way too many to get into. But I
Val Kilmer plays this insane one-eyed king.
Yeah, King Philip, which was accurate insofar that he was a one-eyed lunatic. I don't know. I remember him being intense, and I remember him getting killed pretty early on in a very long movie. So I guess that's me saying that the best part of the movie is the part that Val Kilmer's in, I guess. Because it's before the movie gets really torturous. And there's an even longer version. I have it. For some reason, I bought it years and years ago. Like Alexander Revisited, I think it is. It's like the director's cut. It's upsettingly long.
You put this on one time when we lived together.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I never finished it. But like I barely got through the opening.
It was one of those movies that you watch it and you're like, I can't believe this is bad. It has all the pieces. It's supposed to be good.
Anthony Hopkins, who's wonderful, in the very beginning is just like walking around giving a lecture. He's like, when men lie together, and he's just talking about like dudes doing it straight out of the chute. And it's like, okay, I know where this is going.
There's a lot of that stuff in this. Yeah. It's very accurate. I don't know, man. It was a waste of money. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, 2005.
Yeah.
What a great fucking movie.
I saw this at my house. Like, you came over to hang out. We had no plans. And you're like, I brought a movie. I'm like,
I don't
feel
remember
like
this.
We watched this at my parents' house.
Okay.
And like, I was like, what do you want to do? I brought a movie. It's like, I don't really feel like watching a movie. Like, I don't care. We're watching this because you'll love it. And it was awesome. We watched it in my parents' living room.
In the living room, not upstairs. We watched it in the living room. Okay.
Yeah, we watched it in the living room. My parents weren't home at the time, and you're like, yeah, we're watching this.
What a great movie. Shane Black.
I was very surprised at how good, like, this movie was funny as hell.
It was a movie full of people who everyone thought were kind of done making movies.
Well, yeah, Robert Downey Jr., right?
Yeah, he hadn't made his comeback yet. He'd gotten clean, and he was done with all the rehab shit, but he hadn't broken back into movies yet. He hadn't done Iron Man. So that was him. Val Kilmer wasn't making a lot of money. I mean, wasn't making a lot of big movies. Shane Black hadn't done anything since he had his big nervous breakdown and all of his other shit. And then Michelle Monaghan wasn't really anybody, yet. She got a lot of work after this, but at this time, it was a surprise looking back and being like, wow, she was in that, And what a great fucking movie. What a weird, just atmospheric, stands on its own flick. Just awesome. It's funny. It's It's a
Isn't
detective
Val Kilmer
story.
a hitman?
No, he's a PI
A PI.
named Gay Perry. That's the character's name, Gay Perry. And he is gay. And he's very funny at it. He's got some great one-liners, man. And him
Dude, the one you said for years. He says to Robert Downey Jr., he's like, if you look in the dictionary at the definition of idiot, do you know what you'll find? And Robert Downey Jr. goes,
Picture
a
me.
picture of me? He goes, no, the definition of idiot, which you fucking are.
It's fucking epic, dude. When he's like, no, fucking badly is an adverb. Who taught you grammar?
That's a lot of
The fucking thing with
singers.
the Russian roulette. Him and Downey were great together, dude. They had great timing, which is hard. You can't just manufacture that between two actors. And we know that Downey is very funny from a lot of examples. He's fucking hilarious. And the two of them together in this were great. They don't have a ton of scenes together, but the ones they do have are fucking, every one of them is hilarious. When they're trying to take the body out of the hotel, and then Kilmer just starts macking on him in the alleyway when the cops show up. The noises are fucking epic. Now, if you haven't seen this, yeah, there's something wrong with you if you don't get a giggle out of this movie. And it's very Raymond Chandler-y, the setup. Like, it's intentionally structured like a cheap detective novel with the classic setups. They're just a little different and a little tweaked, and it takes place at Christmas in L.A. because it's Shane Black, and he has no choice. Apparently, he's cursed. Now,
It's a good movie.
I gotta say, I don't know any of these movies, man.
It really thins out.
Played Moscow Zero, Summer Love. I know of this movie in 2006, Deja Vu, with who the fuck was in this?
Denzel?
Yeah, Denzel was in this, but I don't remember him. I don't remember Kilmer being in it. He plays someone named Agent Prizwara. No idea. He did an episode of Numbers.
Number Thurs?
Number Thurs, man.
Number Threers?
He apparently played himself in The Love Guru. I kind of remember falling asleep to this movie, Felon, from 2008.
I completely lost track of Val Kilmer after this.
In 2009, he did a sequel, a sort of indirect sequel to Bad Lieutenant with Nick Cage. That's the level he was at. He was doing direct-to-video Nick Cage movies that are sequels of old fucking Harvey Keitel movies.
Have you ever seen oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I had. It's called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, and he's got a very small part as a cop. That's it.
Did you ever see Life's Too Short?
I don't think so. Who's in that?
It was a TV show. It was like a reality TV show. It was called Life's Too Short with Warwick Davis.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Warwick Davis would just go around and just do stuff. He would go around the world and just do these things, and every now and then famous people he knew would show up. Val Kilmer showed up one day.
Oh,
and is talking to Warwick Davis because they were in Willow together.
Yeah, they were still friends, or
I guess. So he just shows up as Val Kilmer, and then he's like, "Yeah, I just got to go through here. We're gonna talk to my assistant." He's like, "Your secretary?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, there's this bit I love to do when I meet new people," and he just puts on a Batman mask, and he goes, "Denise, I'd like to introduce you to my friend," and he walks in with the cowl on and just goes,
Is that what
Batman.
this is from? I saw this clip on Instagram because there's been so many things since he died getting posted. I saw this.
It's from Life's Too Short.
It's so awkward. It's great.
He's just grinning at her like, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. And he takes off. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's Val.
Oh yeah, no, they say to the that's what it was. They say to the girl like, "Do you know who that is?" She's like, "It's Batman." Batman. with that awful British accent.
And honestly, dude, I got nothing. I got nothing else really in the career.
There's one more.
What?
You got to go all the way to the end, all the way to the tippy top.
I'm cruising.
To his final film appearance.
Going past, he did. Okay, I guess this is worth mentioning because it does show up in a movie. He did a lot of performances as Mark Twain on stage, and apparently they were legendary. There's recordings of them. They're really fucking interesting. He did that for years. He was doing that on stage, and he played Mark Twain in Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn in 2014, some adaptation. But I think that's the only time he ever did it in a movie. So I've never seen this. It's another retelling of that fucking story, but yeah, he's in it. All right, so I guess that's it, man. Let's go right to the end, because he did a shitty movie called The Snowman. He did a weird horror movie called The Super, and then...
I heard about The Snowman.
Yeah.
That's like
It wasn't good.
Detective Harry Hole.
Yeah. It wasn't good. He did have
Who named him Harry Hole?
Some fucked up screenwriter, baby. He did show up in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and he was pretty funny in that, and it was kind of a rip on him being Batman. But I think he had already been sick at that point, and I don't know if he could speak, because I don't know if anyone's not familiar. He had throat cancer, I believe, and they removed his larynx at some point, and
his larynx?
Yeah, that's why he couldn't speak in that. The last movie he ever did was Top Gun Maverick in 2022.
Yeah, he looked real rough in that.
Yeah, he did a documentary about his own life, like an autobiographical documentary. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was just called Val, or This Is Val, or something like that. And he could not speak at all anymore. It's like a really barely audible whisper. So he wrote a bunch of stuff to be done as a voiceover, and his son did it. His son recorded it. And his son sounds exactly like him, dude, on tape. He sounds exactly like him.
That's
it was
crazy.
Eerie. It was fucking creepy. But it's an excellent documentary, man. And I mean, if he was that kind of jerk off actor who was always fighting with people on set and stuff, the illness really changed him, because he was a very humble, appreciative dude in that documentary, looking back after going through a lot of shit and basically like having his instrument taken away from him, I can't think of anything harder as an actor other than like losing your face, or maybe what happened to Christopher Reeve, of course. But this kind of sickness and what had to be done is right up there for an actor, And I assume complications from it are what ultimately killed him. I haven't heard, but that performance in Top Gun, going into it, I knew he was in it, and we had seen stills. I did not know how that was going to play, and I was surprised by how well they did it with the typing, and everything. I thought it was going to, and even when the scene started, I'm like, this is going to be lame. They did it just right, and it lasted just long enough without being too long, and it was, knowing it was the last thing he was in, I don't know. What do you think? Like fitting farewell or too?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was really poignant. It was a way to acknowledge not only his contribution to that franchise, but a way to because you think about who he is in the movie, right? He's the Iceman who's been promoted umpteen times. I think he's a general.
He's an admiral. He's an admiral. Yeah.
So they come back around him, and he's accomplished so much. And it just, in the context of the movie, it works, but it also works as like a capstone, a way to acknowledge the capstone role for like a pretty remarkable career. They treat his character, but I also think him as an actor, with such reverence in that scene.
Yeah.
Like even though there was that it was contentious to work with him in his prime. They treat him with the utmost respect,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they treat it like he loves them, you know, because they pushed each other. I think there's a lot of parallels between that character and just what was happening in his own life, and like you know, being the final performance of a crazy career.
And for a guy who never did sequels at all, never revisited characters really, I think it was really neat to have that as the capstone for his career. You know, going back to essentially where he started. The first movie that made him a movie star. That launched
like
his whole career.
skyrocketed him.
He couldn't have done. I don't think he could have done anything else he did after the way he did it if he hadn't been Iceman in that goofy action movie. And like nothing for nothing, but you know, Tom Cruise was the engine behind the sequel. He did not. He did not have to do that. Like he didn't have to include the character. He did not have to do any of that. And I don't know if he knew it would be better for the movie, or if he wanted to do it for Val and for the characters, or whatever the reason, man. It was the right choice, I think.
Well, I bet it was both, you know,
Yeah,
because
probably.
it works on both levels. Like I was just saying, you know, it works for the story, but it also works as a nod to acknowledge just Val Kilmer, the man.
And I think if he had been healthy, I
done.
think he would have been in it too. You know, I think Tom Cruise and him would have gotten back together to do. I think, of course, the role would have been different and more significant, probably.
I think it would have been a similar scene, though.
I think he would have been the John Hamm character, maybe. You know, a different version of the John Hamm character.
Yeah, he could have
been. Really neat. It could have been really neat. And that was it. It's a remarkably short career for someone who was such a big star, but the bright spots were pretty bright.
Yeah, the highs are very high.
And I gotta wonder, like, you know, we saw those kind of crappy movies toward the end, knowing what Bruce Willis went through after learning about his diagnosis and everything, and how he was just trying to shore up finances by doing as many money-making movies as he could, money-making for him, you know. I wonder if there was some of that in what Val was doing. I have no idea. You know, I don't want to know. I don't want to get into personal lives and shit. But, you know, looking back on it and looking at the filmography like that, I wonder if that was part of it. Either way, I am happy for the shit that we have, you know. It's cool. And there's a couple I got to revisit, and there's a couple I never saw. So,
yeah. So you have some new Val to digest.
And I can't wait to watch The Salton Sea, man. We got to do that. That'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. A good time.
Be like we're 20 years old again.
He is the ocean.
I hate to impose, but I am the ocean.
Bobby Ocean.
Yo,
what?
To circle back, I don't know if you've had sufficient time to think about it. But what's your Top Gun call sign?
Man.
Come on, man.
I think it's hot chicken.
Hot chicken?
Hot chicken.
Why is it hot chicken?
Just fucking sounds good, man. Hot chicken. What's yours, man?
I don't know. I have two.
Really?
I have two that I thought of. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Well, it's just, I don't know. I just think about, like, stuff that I'm into and stuff that might sound cool. I'm a guitar player, right?
Mm.
So, like whammy.
Whammy?
It could be whammy.
Whammy? Because you just watched Anchorman 10,000 times in the barracks.
Yeah.
That's why.
And I'm a Tom Waits fan. So, like, it could be like Rain Dog.
Mule variations.
Christmas card from a hooker in Minneapolis.
All right, I have a good one. This is
I
mine.
think I would be Rain Dog. I'd be Rain Dog.
If we're gonna do music stuff, this is mine.
Yeah.
Holly Holy.
Holly Holy.
Holly Holy.
Holly
Holy love.
Neil Diamond.
And Holly Holy on your sex. Holly Holy on your wing, man. I think it works, man.